One of the good things that Mussolini did was the Lateran Treaty of 1929. I'm going to be discussing what this was, why I think it was beneficial, etc., etc. I'm going to get into all that. So let's go. So there's four portions of this treaty, or four main things that it did. I only value the first three, but I'm going to go over all. So I'm going to let all my opinions fly. I'm going to let it all out. Let me drink water really quick. All right, let's go. So the first thing that this treaty did was it recognized Italy as a Catholic state. Now, this came to a surprise to me that Italy already wasn't a Catholic state, but it was a secular state due to the fact the majority of Italy is Catholic, right? So it came to my surprise that that was the case. Now, the reason obviously secular governments are not good at all. I understand this. I'm obviously looking. Your opinion could be different, but I'm looking at it from a Christian Catholic lens. That's why I would value a Christian Catholic government rather than a secular government. I just think it would be much better. And my what I'd point to is the United States. We have a secular government. I think there's so much degeneracy and just so much behaviors that are just objectively, like, ignore religion as a whole, just objectively just disgusting things that aren't good for society at all, that just happen in these secular nations. Now that's why I'm for that. Second thing is that it actually funded the church. The church was going bankrupt. They needed money. They were cooked, essentially. They were about to fall apart because their only support was self-funded or from believers or from people that visited the church. They would fund it. They were going to go bankrupt. They were very poor financially if Mussolini didn't sign this and get this resolved. Now, this came in and this helped the church. Obviously, I'm for the church. I think church is an amazing way to connect with God. I think it's an amazing way to build a community. And I think the more churches you have and the more, and I'm saying the right way, not any weird stuff going on in churches, the right way type of church, like where it's like we're actually building something with God as a community. That's what I'm talking about. I think that's amazing for society. So don't get it twisted. That's what I'm saying. Now, the third thing this did was it brought Catholicism back into school. And obviously, Catholicism still had something to do with school. I mean, it was Italy, it was majority Catholic. There was something there. But this really implemented it in. Like, there was tests on it. It was more valued within it. I'm sure they learned more about it. And I think as someone that went to Catholic school, I'm not going to force it. I think any sort of Christian school is great. As someone that went to Catholic school, it's amazing. Like if it's done the right way, let's just assume it's actually done the right way. I don't want anyone in the comments to be like, "Oh my gosh, dude, well this church taught me this or this school taught me this and this was horrible. Why would they say that?" I'm saying the right way, the biblical way. If it's taught the right way and what God values and what Jesus preaches, then it's amazing for you. You're going to learn to live a purposeful life. That's what essentially you're going to learn. You're going to learn to live a purposeful life. You're going to learn to do good deeds. You're going to learn, etc., etc. And it teaches you discipline. It teaches you right from wrong. And I know we all inherently have right from wrong, or inherently know right from wrong, but it really embeds it in you to just know right from wrong. Like after I was done with Catholic school, I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm never involving myself in that. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to do that. That's why I think it's very beneficial for society. Obviously, I knew right from wrong, but it's still kind of like it really embeds it into. It's like a parent almost telling you, "Don't do that or do that." Like that's kind of what it did. And another thing, well, the last thing actually, I don't know why I'm saying another thing. The last thing that this did was it gave the Pope a very small, actually the smallest country, I believe. Double check me on that. The smallest country, I believe, the Vatican City, and this was the Pope's territory. It got back. The Pope lost a lot of territory. I don't really care about that. I mean, the Pope wanted territory to have any sort of control over. The Pope didn't, and I mean that's fine. It was a long problem that had to be resolved, obviously, and I think it was beneficial. But still, that. Don't take that. Don't take that on the level of the other 3 points. That was way better. That's my core 3 points of this entire treaty. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but Mussolini was an atheist. So why would he do that? Why would he implement Catholicism into the government? Like he criticized Christianity. He criticized this kind of stuff. He thought it was weak, some of the stuff. But he also understood, obviously he wanted the Catholic people to side with him, but just on Mussolini's core beliefs, he obviously valued a society that would align more with Christianity and Catholicism rather than anything secular. Like that stuff he talked about, that's what he wanted. And I think he questioned religion, but he was an atheist, but I think he understood how, for multiple reasons, even if it was political reasons, he understood Catholicism and how, if it was implemented into government, it would be more beneficial for society. Now, obviously, Italy is a secular nation. Now, still a very high Catholic population, but I think that was a good treaty.
Come to my house when they thinking that bitches some Balenciaga and lots of ammo. Look at my drawer for socks and box on thinking that palace on rules. Look at my section when I'm in the club on they think probably in his hoes.